Get ready, the action starts now. This is Halliburton Sports. Welcome to this edition of Halliburton Sports. I'm Michael Smith. Today, we are discussing professional league football in Houston.
Let's tell the tale of two different brothers, born in the same swampy city, 40 years apart. First came the elder in 1960.
Christened the Oilers for the gold in the ground. The owner wanted a name that screamed money. Since the humidity didn't inspire much fear,
They kicked off on high school grass at Jefferson, where locker rooms smelled of chalk and damp wool. A ticket cost less than a sandwich does now, $4 or $5 for a Sunday ritual. The players were part-timers, earning their keep selling cars on Tuesdays and insurance on Fridays. They were smaller men with crew cuts and flat tops, a pale demographic before the world woke up. Linebackers were the size of modern safeties,
and they won 2 titles before we knew how to suffer. Then came the move to the 8th wonder. The Astrodome rose like a spaceship in the marsh. Air-conditioned bliss for the first time ever, replacing the sweat with the smell of stale smoke. Revenue shifted to the new luxury boxes,
which meant orange shag carpet and a private bar. The Love Ya Blue era shook the foundation, with pom-poms waving for a bruising running back. We cheered a quarterback in a military flak jacket, and the city felt like the center of the earth. But the Houston reputation began to take hold.
We love a winner with a desperate passion, but we treat a loser like a stranger at the door. When the winds dried up in the mid-'80s, the Dome went silent, a cavern of echoes. By '96, the marriage was over. The moving vans packed up the history and gear,
heading to Tennessee to become Titans, leaving us with nothing but lawsuits and silence. 5 years went by with no team to watch.
We did yard work on Sundays and saved our cash. Then in 2002, the younger brother arrived. A focus group played it safe with the Texans. Because Apollos was too spacey for the brand, they built a glass palace called NRG Stadium, with a roof that retracts but stays shut for the AC. 72 degrees is the only weather we like. The financial model changed the game entirely. Gone were the days of the $5 seat.
Enter the personal seat license, the PSL. You pay a fee just for the right to buy tickets, like paying a cover charge to enter a bank.
Beer costs $12, nachos cost $15, and jerseys cost more than a 60s player made. The athletes evolved into corporate machines.
No more off-season jobs, just training and sleep. Faster, stronger, and globally sourced, earning salaries that rival the GDP of small states. We saw a defensive end built like a comic book hero, swatting down passes with arms like wings. We saw a receiver who caught everything in sight.
But the cycle of fans remains the same story. The Texans started slow, taking sacks by the dozen. When they lose, the secondary market floods.
Ticket holders selling to recoup their investment. But give us a playoff run, give us a title, and the stadium rocks like the old days of blue.
From the Derrick to the Bull, the pattern holds true. We buy the expensive gear, we scream for the win, and we wait for the potential to justify the cost.
Let's talk about the artificial suns guiding our Sundays, the electric storytellers hanging in the humidity. In '68, the future looked like a light bright.
The Astrodome boasted the Scoreboard Spectacular, a name grand enough for the swinging 60s. It stretched across the end zone, a horizon of circuits. No high def, no liquid crystals, just thousands of hot, fragile bulbs wired by hand. We didn't have instant replay.
We had a light show triggered by buttons. When the Oilers scored, no highlight reel played. It played a suggestion.
A jagged, geometric bull charging through darkness, horns and tail made of yellow and red lamps, flags waving in a wind that didn't exist. Then the explosion, a frantic flash signaling joy. Low-resolution analog art, but we cheered those lights like they were alive. Fast forward to the glass cathedral at NRG. We traded filaments for LEDs, screens wider than a subdivision. Hanging over end zones, judging us in ultra-high def. We don't guess calls, we inspect evidence. We see every bead of sweat on a forehead,
Counting rubber pellets flying off the turf. Seeing panic in eyes before the sack arrives. A strange evolution of fandom.
From imagination to forensic analysis, we stared at a cartoon bull and saw a monster. Now we stare at screens eclipsing the sun. Checking stats and betting lines in real time, we have clarity. Perfect vision. But I admit, I miss the snorting bull made of bulbs.
Thanks for joining us for this edition of Halliburton Sports. We're going to leave you with some visuals.